So this is the part 4 of the General Education Mathematics Review for licensure examination for teachers. And in this video, we're going to talk about the solutions for problems number 31 to 40. So number 31, what is the difference in the elevation between the top of the mountain 50 meters above sea level and a location 20 meters below sea level? So let's find out the answer. So the answer for number 31 is 70 meters. So let me explain to you why. Now let's illustrate first. So here's the mountain, and this is 50 meters high. And we have the sea, and below sea level is given that it is 20 meters. Now the task is to find the difference between these two. So this 50 meters is represents positive 50 because it's above sea level, that's why it's positive, and 20 meters is negative 20 because it's below sea level. So the sea level represents the 0 or just neutral. Now let us subtract because it's giving us task to find the difference. So 50 minus the below sea level, that's negative 20. So when you subtract, we copy change. That's the rule for subtracting integers. So copy the 50 and change the operation to plus and change the sign of negative 20 to positive, and then combine 50 plus 20, that is 70. So the answer is 70 meters. Number 32. John spent 1/4 of his money in one store. In the next store, he spent twice times as much as he spent in the first store. If he had 60 pesos left, how much money did he have from the start? So let's find the answer. The answer for this problem is 240 pesos. So let me explain to you how we get this answer. So let me illustrate to you the amount of John in this through this circle. So this is not yet spent. So this is the illustration, or this represents John's money before it was spent. And then it's given that 1/4 of his money was spent in one store. So this is 1/4 of it is gone. And then in the next store, he spent twice times as much as he spent in the first store. So that means there are two 1/4 that was spent of his money. And what was left is this. It is worth 60 pesos, which is actually 1/4 of the whole circle. So that means whatever John's money at first, so we represent it as X because we don't know how much is uh, the money at first. So 1/4 of that will be 60. But then since we are looking for the money originally, so it is the reverse process or reverse operation. So the counterpart of times is division. So it will be 60 divided by 1/4. So following the rule for dividing fractions, we change the operation to times and we get the reciprocal of the fraction at the right. And so we multiply 60 times 4 is 240. That's why we have an answer of 240. Let me show you another way of solving the problem using algebra. So let us represent John's money at the start with X. And since it's given that 1/4 was spent in one store, So we'll minus it with 1/4 of x, or x over 4. And then in the next store it will be twice, so minus twice of x over 4, which is 2x over 4, and what's left is 60. Then to avoid fraction, we need to multiply it with 4, all the terms with 4, so that the 4 will be cancelled. So let us multiply, so x becomes 4x, and also 2x becomes 8x, and 60 becomes 240 because all the terms are multiplied by 4. Then we cancel out 4 and 4, and also 8 and 4 because 8 can be divided by 4, which is 2. So what's left is 4x minus x minus 2x equals 240. Then we simplify 4x minus x is 3x, and then 3x minus 2x is x. So the answer is 240. So let's have number 33. An item is offered at 10% discount. After a week, it is offered at 40% discount. If the new selling price is 108 pesos, what is the first original price? So the answer for this problem is 200 pesos. So how do we get 200 pesos? So what we are trying to get first is the percent that is represented by this 108 pesos. So to do that, let us write first, or put first the original amount, which is 100%. So we don't know how much is that, but we are sure that it's 100% because it's not yet deducted with a discount. And then there's a 10% discount. So the new price will be only 90% of the original price, which is still we don't know because we don't know the original price. And then after that, the 90% is deducted again with the 40% discount, which is not exactly 40% because it's the 40% of the new price, which is 90% only of the original price. Now you might wonder how come the 10% is not multiplied with 100%, and it's now different with the second one. Basically, it's just the same procedure. It's just that this 100% times 10% is just the same because 100% is equivalent to 1 in decimal, and 1 times 10% is just itself. So in this case, it's in decimal 0.90 times 0.40. That is, you can write it as well as 0.9 and 0.4. It's the same. And that is 0.36 or 36%. So this 90% will be discounted by 36%. So the new selling price will be only 54% from the original price. And that's what we are looking for. And so to do that, we need to divide the new selling price with its equivalent percentage so that we will know the amount of the original price. So 108 divided by 54%, well, of course we cannot divide it unless we change it into decimal, which is 0.54. And then we divide 108 by 0.54, we will get 200. So the original price is 200 pesos. That means 200 pesos times 54% is 108. Number 34. The price of one student meal in a canteen is 30 pesos, and an average of 1,000 students orders that meal every day. If the price of the meal was increased to 50 pesos, How many orders would yield the same amount to the canteen? The answer for this problem is 600. So how do you get 600? Now let's analyze the problem. It is given that it's 30 pesos per meal and there are 1,000 students ordering this meal. So that's a total of 30,000 pesos as a profit. Now it increased to 50 pesos. And we want to know how many students how many students order that meal so that it will be the same uh, amount that they will receive. So it's still 30,000 pesos. So to solve this, so it's just simply algebra. We multiply 50 times n, that's 50n, and then we divide both sides by 50 so that n will be isolated, and we cancel the 50. So 30,000 divided by 50 is 600. So that means 50 times 600 students will still give you 30,000 pesos as a profit. Let's have number 35. In a school party, the ratio of boys to girls is 6:5. If there are 75 girls, how many students are there? So let's solve this. The answer for this problem is 165. Now, how to get this answer? Now, the given is it's 6:5, where 6 is for the boys and 5 is for the girls. And then this 5 units represents the 75 girls. And it's not given for the number of boys. That's why we cannot just simply add the number of boys and girls. But we can solve this problem without getting number of boys by just getting the unit value. That means how many students are represented by each unit in the ratio. So let's find the unit value. That's 75 divided by 5, which is 15. That means for every unit it represents 15 students. Now the total unit is 6 plus 5 and then times 15, which is the value for each unit. So the total is 11 units times 15, that is 165. That means there are 165 students in all. Number 36. Two buses leave the same station at 5 a.m. One bus travels north at the rate of 80 kilometers per hour, and the other travels east at 150 kilometers per hour. How many kilometers apart are the buses at 6 a.m.? So let's find the answer. The answer for this problem is 170 kilometers. So how do we get this answer? So let us illustrate first. So this represents the bus station, and bus 1 is going up and bus 2 is going to the right. So the first bus and the second bus left the bus station at exactly 5 a.m. And then bus 1 goes up or going to the north with a speed of 80 kilometers per hour, and bus 2 is going to the east at a speed of 150 kilometers per hour. And at 6 a.m. they are there, and we are looking for this distance. So they are forming a right triangle. We have this edge as the bus station, and the remaining two edges are the position of bus 1 and 2 at 6 a.m. Now, since the interval between 5 and 6 a.m. is 1 hour, so that means the bus 1 has reached 80 kilometers after 1 hour. And then for the bus 2, since it's 150 kilometers per hour, then it reaches 150 kilometers after an hour. And then we're looking for this part, which is actually the hypotenuse of this right triangle. Since the problem is a right triangle and it only involves the sides of this right triangle, then we will use the Pythagorean theorem, where this theorem states that the sum of the squares of the length of the legs is equal to the square of the hypotenuse, which is the c. So 80 squared plus 150 squared is equal to the hypotenuse squared, or the x squared. Then let's take the squares. It will be 6,400 plus 22,400 is equal to x squared. And then combining the constants, it will be 28,900. And then we will get the square of both sides to get the value of x, which is 170. That means after an hour from the bus station, the two buses is having a distance of 170 kilometers apart. Number 37. One angle of a triangle is twice as much as the other, while the third angle is 3 times as much as the smallest. What is the measure in degrees of the smallest angle? So let's figure out the answer. The answer for this problem is 30 degrees. So how did you get this answer? So first is we will illustrate this problem. This problem is involving triangle, and we will name the smallest angle as x. And it's given that one angle is twice the smallest, so we'll name it 2x, and the third angle is 3 times as the smallest, so we'll name it 3x. So we know that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So if we add all these three angles, x, 2x, and 3x, it should be sum up to 180. Then let us solve. Let's simplify. X plus 2x is 3x, and 3x plus 3x is 6x. Then we will divide both sides to cancel the 6. So what's left is x, and 180 divided by 6 is 30. So the answer is 30 degrees. Number 38. John is 5 years older than Tessa. 3 years ago, he was twice as old as Tessa. How old is Tessa now?
The answer for this problem is 8. How did we get 8? So first is we are going to construct a table that will help us solve or analyze this problem. So first is we're going to put their names, the John and Tessa, and then the next column will be for the present age. For Tessa, we will denote it as X, and for John, since it's given that he is 5 years older than Tessa, so it will be X plus 5. Now, 3 years ago, so the next column will be for 3 years ago age. And for John, it will be the present minus 3 years, because it's 3 years ago. So present age is X plus 5 minus 3. And for Tessa, the present age, which is X, minus 3. And then it's given also that 3 years ago, he was twice as old as Tessa, or John was twice as old as Tessa. So that means the 3 years ago age of John can be also written as twice of Tessa's age 3 years ago, or 2 times x minus 3. Now, using these two mathematical statements, since they are the same, then we can use this to solve the problem. So we remove unnecessary statements and we just leave these two mathematical statements which are equal. So since they are equal, then we will replace or into equal sign. Then let's solve for x. Remember, x is Tessa's age at present. So first is we are going to remove the parenthesis for x plus 5 since it's unnecessary. And then equals the 2 times the difference of x and 3. And then we are going to combine the constants 5 and negative 3, which will be 2, and distribute the 2 at the right side. So 2 times x and 2 times negative 3, which will be 2x and negative 6. And then we are going to transpose such that the negative 6 will be at the left side and it becomes positive 6, and the x will move to the right side so that it will change sign to negative x. And so we combine like terms. It will be 2 plus 6 equals 8. 2x minus x is x. So that means Tessa's present age is 8 years old. Number 39. Given that x plus y equals 2a and x minus y equals 2b, what is the value of x squared minus y squared? So the answer for this problem is 4ab. So how to get this answer? So here's the solution. The given is x squared. What we are looking for is x squared minus y squared. And then, using the idea or concept of difference of two squares, x squared minus y squared can be expanded into x plus y times x minus y, or the factored form of the difference of two squares. That means if you multiply this 2, x plus y and x minus y, it will go back to x squared minus y squared. Now it's given that x plus y is 2a and x minus y is 2b. So we substitute and then we multiply. So 2a times 2b is 4ab. Number 40. Anne's scores in the last 4 tests were 85, 90, 93, and 89. What must be her score in the 5th and last test to get an average of at least 90? So let's find the answer. The answer for this problem is 93. So how do we get 93? So it's given that we are going to find the average. So to find the average, we add all the scores divided by how many scores are there. So it's all 5 including the missing score. And then it must be at least 90, or it can be written as greater than or equal to, that's at least 90. And then we are going to multiply both sides by 5 so that there will be no more fraction. So this 5 can be cancelled. That's the reason why we multiply both sides to avoid fraction. And then what's left is this. And we combine the constants 85, 90, 93, and 89. So that will sum up to 357. And then 90 times 5, that will be 450. And then we transpose 357 to the other side. It will change sign into negative. And then combine, that will be 93. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have learned from this video. Check out on the part 5 of this LED review for general education mathematics.